Hello, my name is Chris, and today I want to share with you 5 reasons to be grateful during times of change. If this is the first time that we've met, I should probably point out that a lot of my other videos on YouTube are about quitting smoking. So today I will make reference to making the change from being a smoker into a non-smoker. However, what I'm going to talk about can mainly be applied to all of the changes that many of us go through. Whether that's we're changing our relationships, we're changing where we live, we're changing we're going through changes with our mental health. The coronavirus is changing so many facets of the way that we live our day-to-day lives. Some of us, it is our birthday this weekend, we are changing into an old man. Although to be fair, I look pretty good for 75, right? There's so many changes that we go through, and we get into this belief that all change is uncomfortable and unpleasant, but it isn't. You know, people say human beings dislike change, or human beings don't like change. But I don't believe that that's universally true. If you are broke and can't pay your bills, and then you win £50,000 or $50,000 on the lottery, tell me how you feel about that change. If you are single and then you fall in love with someone who loves you back, tell me how you feel about that change. It isn't change that we dislike, it's the discomfort and unpleasantness of the things that challenge us and change us. But that can be enough. Knowing that there is some discomfort in some kinds of change, that can be enough to put us off making any changes. Because we go, oh my God, that's uncomfortable and unpleasant. I don't want it. I'll stay here and I'll stay safe with things exactly as they are. Even though there is so much good to be gained from going through difficult, challenging changes. And I'm going to share just 5 of the good, positive things that come out of change. Whether it's the coronavirus, whether it's quitting smoking, whether it's becoming an old man. The first one is that we get a greater appreciation of what is good. There is no light without darkness. There is no pleasure without pain. Because we've been through unpleasant and challenging things, when things are good, we have a greater appreciation of them. You know, like I'm in this room now, and the temperature is fine. It's not too hot, it's not too cold. But I'm not really paying attention to it. I haven't once thought today, do you know what, I'm really grateful for the temperature in this room. But I bet if I went outside and it was wet and rainy and it was freezing cold, I'd be, out there, I would be uncomfortable, it would be unpleasant. And then I could come straight back into this room and it would be just exactly the same temperature, and I would be so much more grateful for it. You know, the same with when we quit smoking. We gain a deeper appreciation for the things that so many people who have never smoked probably take for granted. I've shared so many times about the first time I realized that I can go and fill my lungs full of fresh air. And I was like, oh my God, that is an amazing thing. And you talk to someone who's never smoked and they go, it's just breathing. Every person on the planet does it. It's nothing special. No, it is special. Because I remember a time when I couldn't get the air all the way down my lungs because they were so full of the toxic crap from smoking. You know, if we go through whatever is unpleasant or challenging in our lives, it won't be unpleasant forever. And at some point on the other side of it, we'll not only have good stuff, but we'll be able to appreciate that good stuff even more because we've been through the unpleasant stuff first. So that's the first thing. We gain a deeper appreciation and a deeper sense of gratitude for things that other people may have taken for granted. And the second thing is that when we go through changes, we get to let go of things that weren't right for us anyway. Again, I'm going to talk about quitting smoking. When we quit smoking, the experience for a lot of people is unpleasant. It is unchallenging. It is challenging, not unchallenging. It is challenging, but we let go of something that isn't serving us and isn't working for us. At one point, yeah, smoking may have worked for us in some way, or we told ourselves it did. And now that it doesn't, we let go of it. Last year, I was in a relationship and I was convinced it was going to be like this whole thing, and we were, we had our lives planned out, and then the relationship ended, and it was very sad and very painful. But now that I look back on it, I actually think, do you know what? If I'd have stayed in that relationship, I wouldn't be where I am now. Where I am now is pretty good. I might have ended up being miserable, or at least not as happy as I am now, if I'd have stayed in that relationship. So things worked out. I got to let go of something that wasn't working for me. Yes, the change was unpleasant. The change was awful. It really did a number on me, but I'm better for it because I let go of something that wasn't right for me. And it can be anything, it might not be a relationship. It might be that we change careers. We let go of a career that wasn't working for us. We change our mental health, and we end up making big life changes like I did after, the worst bouts of depression. The third thing is that we gain so much more strength. I've said before, that we talk about the hardest thing that we've ever had to do. And some people say, Chris, you know what? Oh my goodness, I'm quitting smoking and it's the hardest thing that I've ever done in my whole life. Yes, but at some time before this, something else was the hardest thing that you have ever had to do. And you did it and you got through it. So you are your own living proof that you can get through this. Whatever it was you went through in the past, it was really difficult. You did it, so now you can definitely get through this next challenge. And because you get through this next challenge, the next time something comes up, you can go, well, do you know what? I quit smoking. I got through the coronavirus pandemic. If I can get through that, I can get through absolutely anything. Going through difficult, unpleasant, uncomfortable challenges makes us stronger. Sometimes talk about the cocoon phase where, a caterpillar goes into its cocoon, and whilst it's in the cocoon, it gets broken down into goo, which is, I don't know about you, to me sounds terrifying and scary and unpleasant. But then when it comes out of the cocoon, it's this beautiful butterfly. The same kind of thing happens, right? We go into these things and they change us. They might break us down, but they don't break us completely because we grow from this. And we grow into something much stronger, if not more beautiful. So that's the next thing, is that things get better. We get better because we get stronger, and we're more capable of taking on greater and greater challenges in the future. The fourth thing I have forgotten, so if you give me a second, I will refer to my notes. It says new skills, new passions, new beliefs. Yes, that is the fourth thing that we gain when we go through challenging situations, when we go through changes. We quite have to adopt new ways of being, new ways of thinking, new skills, new hobbies, whatever it may be. I can think of so many examples for this. We quit smoking, and whilst we're quitting smoking, we've been told, you know, if we do some exercise, it will help us to deal with the cravings. So we start walking, or we take up running, or cycling, or playing football, or any kind of thing, right? We take up new exercise, and this exercise becomes something that fills us with joy. One of my favorite things about going into our Finding Freedom Facebook group on Facebook, which is where you find most Facebook groups. One of my favorite things about going into that group is people going, do you know what, now that I've quit smoking, I've got so much more time. I've started growing this garden. I've started a new hobby. I've done this, I've done that. And I go, yeah, because people have got new things to do. I can think of years ago, another relationship ended. My track record with relationships is quite clearly terrible. This was like 10 years ago. A very serious relationship ended, and I really didn't know, you know, it really like made me question who I was, and am I a bad person, and all this stuff. And I bought this book by the hypnotherapist Paul McKenna. It was called Change Your Life in 7 Days. I actually really recommend it. And I read this book, and although there was some good stuff in it, what really got from it was a passion for neuro-linguistic programming and hypnotherapy. Now, just this year, I've started training to become a hypnotherapist, and I've used lots of neuro-linguistic programming stuff in some of the other videos that I've put here on YouTube and in my book, which is called Quit Smoking and Be Happy, available on Amazon. So we gained so much. You know, I went through a really dark period of depression a couple of years ago, where I couldn't get off my couch and I was just sat in the dark. But it was a changing experience for me. And when I emerged on the other side of it, I got this new belief that one of the reasons I was unhappy was because of my career. So I decided I wanted to change career. I went back to college to train to become a counselor. So, you know, whenever we go through these changing situations, it might only be that we develop new coping mechanisms, right? We go through a challenging process and we learn, you know what, when I'm stressed, I do this new thing. I go meditate, or I relax, or whatever it may be. Or we just develop a new mindset. We go through this thing and go, do you know what, because I've done that, I've got this new mindset that teaches me that I can get through anything. It teaches me to look on the bright side of life. It teaches me to be more grateful for what is good in my life. And the fifth and final thing that we gain, the fifth and final reason to be grateful in times of change, is that we change because of this situation, and then we can pass on what we have learned to other people. And we can be the catalyst for somebody else's change. We can help somebody else get through whatever is the most difficult thing in their life. You know, I went through quitting smoking, and it was this big, huge, life-changing thing for me. And then I was like, do you know what? I'm going to go on YouTube and tell people about this. And a couple of years later, I've met so many people who are quitting smoking and who, you know, get something from these videos, and it just gives them a little nudge on their journey. Sometimes I see people, you know, they say, Chris, I quit smoking because of you. No, you didn't. I can't take any credit for you quitting smoking. You quit smoking because of you. It's just that because I went on YouTube, I was there in your ear going, you can do it, go on, you can do it. Keep going, don't give up. So that change for me was hard, it was difficult. It probably was the worst thing I'd ever gone through in my life at that point. But then I was able to come and tell all you lot about it. And then you've been able to quit smoking. And now next time you meet somebody who is quitting smoking, you can say, do you know what? I know what to do now. I can help you. Again, I go back to that period of depression. It was dark. It was scary. It was, oh my goodness, I didn't know if I was going to make it to the end of the day, never mind the end of the week, before I did something stupid. But I emerged from that on the other side, and I decided to retrain to become a counselor. And I still have like another 8 months of training or something like that to do, probably a bit longer. So I'm now able to, or at least I will be able to help people with depression and mental health. Did you hear my voice then? When we go through these changes, it can be hard, it can be scary, but we can learn so much from them, and we can pass on what we've learned and help somebody else. And then somebody else helps somebody else, and somebody else helps somebody else, and on it goes, and we start this train of positivity rolling. So many people making changes in their lives because we were able to help. Whew. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope you found that at least interesting, if nothing else. I really appreciate all of your support. Do let me know how you are getting on in the comments below. If you're not quitting smoking, let me know what changes you are going through and what is good about it. What positives can you take from it? If you are quitting smoking, you want more support and advice and to get together with other people who are on their journey, you can join us on Facebook, facebook.com/group/findingfreedom1. And again, just to plug my little book, it is called Quit Smoking and Be Happy, available from Amazon and Google Play. The links and lots of other fun stuff in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Goodbye.